Morning viewer, it's just after 6 a.m. in the morning, and the first step of the day after having breakfast is heading to the bike park to set up the bike with all its bits. So that was a rubbish night. I left my phone not on silent so that the alarm clock would make a noise in the morning, and it spent all night beeping with stupid notifications. So eventually about 3 o'clock I turned the notifications sound all the way down, and then a little bit later I turned off the sound totally, and lo and behold, the alarm still went even though the phone was set on silent. So now we know for next time. Won't do that again. Here we are. 694. Okay, the bike is all ready for action. We've got our drinks on and our food on and our shoes on. So, now we skedaddle out of here. Normally now you put your wetsuit on and go to swim. But because we live right next door, what we're doing now is we're going back home and having a coffee and a bit of a sit, put the wetsuit on at home, and then gently walk down to the start area in about an hour. This problem is there's 3,700 people in this, and because I'm the slowest of the swimmers, it takes well over an hour from the start before I actually get to swim. There's no point in sitting on the beach for an hour. Might as well go and have a coffee. Trying to do an Ironman here and do a video, and I got to be careful I don't forget anything. I actually forgot the drink for the bike. Poor old Penny had to nip back to the house and get the drink so I could load the bike up with liquid. Anyhow, step by step. Rained last night, all the bikes are wet, everything's wet. Now all I have to do is find my running bag, put my shoe inserts into my running shoes, and we're good to go.
Make sure you get ready with all the equipment that you need for today's journey.
Down here somewhere. Don't forget your number. Six, 9, 4. Here we are. All done, just gotta get out of here now. So having done that, just got to sneak out the system now and get home. So that's all done. Bike set up, inserts and shoes all ready to go. Now walk the couple of minutes back home and have a coffee. Not sure you're supposed to do it like this really. There you go. Seriously, came home for coffee. Got about almost an hour before we need to move. Must point out this is super unusual. Normally it's straight out of the bike park, straight down to the beach, wetsuit on, warm up, off we go. Or off we stand around for ages. Isn't that amazing? All the roads are empty of cars because this is the run circuit. So I had our coffee, got my wetsuit on, and the race actually started a couple of minutes ago. We sort of heard it in the distance. And we're heading down to the beach now. Join the happy throngs. And there they are, somewhere down there. So we're on the beach, and there's quite a lot of people. 3,700. You're not going to see much of me today because cameras aren't allowed on the course, but we'll see what we can do.
It does not get more cheesy than this. We've got the greater lap, some cheese on the swim start today, but everybody's going to sing along.
For a while so I can mess around a bit.
Oh yeah, what a feeling. Why so serious? Remember, you paid to do this. What a feeling. And the feeling gets so much better on the matching red carpet. We cannot wait to welcome you over there. But first, you have to swim. You have to ride. You have to run. With a smile.
So I was here 1 year ago, had such a good time, I immediately signed up for the 2025 version. Unfortunately, a lot can happen in a year, although it's quite a good year. I did a couple of marathons, Ironmans, stuff like that. Come January this year, I hurt my foot, and I really hurt my foot, and something tendony went bad inside. So since the start of January, which is about 4 months ago, I've done absolutely no running, zero, not a pace. So I thought, well, I can still do cycling, I can still train swimming. And then we did a scan a little bit later in February, and the doctor said, you've got to stop cycling, it's not fixing at all. So we stopped cycling. So I thought, well, we can do swimming. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, just as we were getting into the sort of let's do some long swims, something went wrong in my ears. My semicircular canals suddenly gained some crystals that they shouldn't have, and I lost my sense of balance. So you wake up in the morning, you roll out of bed, and the world is turning, like just turning around, and you sit and you wait a little bit, and eventually it stops turning. Nothing physically wrong, big deal, just the sensor problem. So obviously I cannot swim, because you can't do the swapping your head around side to side. If I try that, I immediately feel seasick. So that was swimming out. So it'd been Mallorca, Alcudia. We'd booked a house. We're planning to come here for 3 weeks. Race in the middle, generally have a holiday. So if you can't do the Ironman, do you still go on holiday? Well, yes you do. Because not doing the Ironman is a sort of a fluid situation. You always figure, I always figure, that things are going to fix magically. It just needs time. So we arrived here a few days ago on a blue sky, really sunny day. And immediately went out cycling, and I can get away with the cycling. The foot is a lot better since January, the balance is a lot better since a couple of weeks ago, but both are still causing problems. We did a 20k flat ride, a 30k flat ride, a 40k mountain ride, and we were sort of cycling I can do, but when we finished the 40k cycling ride yesterday, my head was turning around like you wouldn't believe. So I keep putting off trying to swim. So I'm still putting off trying to swim. So today is Friday. The race is 1 week tomorrow. How much I will fix in 1 week, who knows? So this is going to be more than your usual how's the Ironman going to go, because at the moment I don't even know if I can even start. If I can't swim, then I can't swim. If I'm going to be seasick as soon as I start moving my head around, that's not going to work. Equally, if I get out of the water and my world is spinning around, I'm not going to be able to run the 300 meters to get to the bike park. So that's not going to work. But I got over a week, maybe it'll fix, we shall see. I could always do breaststroke, of course. In Vichy in 2016, the water was so warm, it was in August, that wetsuits weren't allowed. So I did the entire 70.3 swim and the 1.9k in breaststroke, and that worked really well. I was actually surprised. At least with breaststroke you can see where you're going. Here though, the water's cool, I'm going to need a wetsuit, so doing breaststroke in a wetsuit is not going to work very well, I guess, although I must admit I never tried it really. So if I can do the swim and I can start the bike, will I be able to do the bike in the time available? Certainly if I can start the bike I will try to do the whole route, and if I'm out of time, I'm out of time, because I mean I'm not trained for months on the bike, so I really don't know how it's going to pan out. And then if we finish the bike, what state we're going to be in for the run. This week I've done 2k jogs just to see if I can do it without my foot hurting too much. And okay, what's too much? My foot does hurt, but it's not hurting too much. So again, it's very much an open question about how we're going to be in a week's time. I mean, I've done this before. I mean, I've been doing this thing for 20 years, marathons and Ironmans and stuff. So it's not like I don't know what to expect. But honestly, when you get to this age, it's all about trying to finish inside the cut-off time. It's nothing to do with personal bests anymore and all that stuff. So that brings you back to, if you're here, You want to do the swim, you want to do the bike. Well, ultimately you want to do the bike. You don't really want to do the swim, but that's just part of the deal. So if you're here, it's all ready, the bike course is available. Go out, do the bike, have fun. You just have to survive the swim to get to the bike, and whether you can do the run afterwards, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the bike. Now the good news is that my foot is feeling a lot better and my balance is sort of sorting itself out. I still get really seasick when I'm swimming, which is really annoying, but I'm sort of stuck with that. It's only about an hour's swim, so hopefully I can get through that. We had to go on the bike course. I can cycle up the big hill, because one of my other issues is because of my injuries, I've not really been able to train this year, so I don't know how everything's going to really work. So I figure if I can do the bike in time and I can start the run, then we'll see what happens, because I don't know how the run's going to go. In my previous video I mentioned doing a little video of the run circuit. That never happened. I just don't have the confidence in my foot to try a 7k run circuit before the actual race. So I've done pretty much no running at all for a week. Well, I've done no running at all year, but during our time here I've done no running, because I hope I've got enough foot for the actual half marathon at the end of the Ironman, but I don't know. We shall see. So this is going to be yet another leap of faith. So the swim was pretty desperate. I had a lot of trouble with my tummy, a lot of trouble with feeling ill, kept doing breaststroke for a bit and going back to crawl, but made it. Did it in 55 minutes I think, which is actually not bad for me. Actually, it's pretty good for me.
Go, Steve!
The bike was epic. I love the bike, especially the downhill. Once you go, there's one major hill, and once you're at the top of it, you're then up and down for a while, and then there is a descent to die for. It is just beautiful. I overtook 3 or 4 people on the way to in the first 20k. I overtook another couple on the hill, and then on the descent I must have overtaken 10 people, because I think a lot of people quite rightly are quite wary about descending hairpins quickly. And then once we got up the descent, it was a flat run back here, which I think it must have been downhill a bit, because I was happily doing 30k, which is quite unusual.
Yo, Steve!
Start the run, I thought you might be interested to know about a few of the other videos that I've made. I've been doing marathons and Ironmans and stuff for 22 years. I've done about 28 Ironmans and 33 marathons I think. In the last few years I've started making videos. So we've got some en route videos of the Athens Marathon, from Marathon to Athens. and also of the Nice-Cannes marathon along the French Riviera. I've also made some videos of my times at the Marathon des Sables, a 7-day 250-kilometer foot race in the Sahara, which you might enjoy. Take a look at my YouTube channel, and in particular my athletic sport playlist. I'm sure there's some of you find interesting. Anyway, back to the run. Now the cut-off time was 5 hours 30 minutes for the swim and the bike, and the cut-off time for the full race is 8 hours 30 minutes. So I knew that if they let me start the run, I had at least 3 hours. Could I do the half marathon in under 3 hours? And normally I'll run a half marathon in just under 2 hours, so I can do it in theory, but with my foot in its current state, I'm certainly not going to be doing any running. So the plan was to jog. Now it's a 3-lap course, so I figured I need to do each lap in less than 1 hour. So technically you're looking at about 8-minute kilometers. So to be safe, I was really going to try budget on 7-minute kilometers. So that's what I did. I started jogging, and within about 10 meters my foot had a problem, so I actually had to spend the first couple of 100 meters fiddling around with my shoe to get everything in the right place so I could actually jog comfortably. And then it started. I jogged, and I jogged, and I jogged. One of the most amazing times on the jog run was the very last lap, because as you can see here, there was absolutely no one else around. I wasn't actually last, there were people behind me, but on the roads, no traffic, no people, just me. I mean, how much freedom do you want?
Keep going, Steve. You're doing fantastically. Nearly there.
Well done, buddy. Welcome back, welcome home.
I could hardly believe it when I finished that third lap, came into the finishing chute. There's all the Ironman signs, there's the finish line. That was a bit emotional, to be honest. I'd spent the entire day wondering if I was going to make it, and here I was, made it.
Flying to the finish line. This, I think, is an Ironman event number 30. Living in Monaco, we bump into each other regularly. Steve Gale. It's blowing a gale down the finish line. Steve Gale. It's blowing a gale down the finish line. Steve Gale. It's blowing a gale down the finish line. Well done, Steve. Congratulations. Good to see you again. You all right? One thing you can't do is you can't complain that it was too hot, Steve.
Now make dollars, I mean billions. I'm a genius, I mean brilliance.
got the medal. How cool is that? That was so hard. That was incredibly hard. Doing it without training is not advisable. Most unbelievable thing is when I saved the event on my Garmin, it said my recovery time is 35 days. Oh well, nothing else planned, so plenty of recovery to come. I was in the bike park the day before the race when a nice Italian guy came over and introduced himself. He's called Jeppi, and he had seen my video from last year, and that I think had enthused him to sign up for this year for his first Ironman, I believe. Well done, Jeppi. I hope you had a good time. Great to meet you. When I was out on the run, I'm going around one corner and a group of nice people shouted, "Go on Gale Force," which I thought was fantastic because they all obviously knew my Gale Force TV YouTube channel, so they also maybe were subscribers. Unfortunately, being mid-flight, I really didn't have much time to chat with them. But anyway, if you're watching this, guys, thank you very much for the enthusiasm. Thank you very much for the encouragement. Great to almost meet you, and I hope you had a good race too. Amazingly, a similar thing happened at the Nice to Cannes marathon last year in November. I was jogging along and a man jogged past me, and as he did so he slowed down and he said, "You're on YouTube. I saw your video from last year and I liked it so much I decided to do the race." I did the Athens marathon last year, from Marathon to Athens, and after picking up my medal, a man came over to me and said, "I saw you on YouTube." I believe he's called Michael. Hi Michael, if you're watching this. And he also said, "I saw your video on YouTube and I liked the race so much I decided to sign up." I'm an influencer. So what do you think of that? Comment please. I really did just do an Ironman 70.3 with almost no training and a hurting foot and a variable balance system. But I survived, and honestly nobody was more amazed than me. I really didn't think I was going to make the run. I was so happy to get to the run, and I was even happy to finish the thing. So I hope you found that entertaining. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, to like the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.
So, Steve Gale, what's it like running one of these?
So far so good.
It's blowing a gale down the finish line. It's blowing a gale down the finish line.